Hey everybody, I'm Adam.
And I'm Chris.
And this is the Gamers Hall.
And today we're going to be doing our third unboxing of Dungeon in a Box.
So far, two good ones. I have not seen anything in this one, and Chris has, and he hasn't tried to spoil it too much for me. So I'm excited.
I've only seen it because I had the digital downloads as well.
Alright, what we got?
Boom! Lots of goodness. Anyways, that's a dragon.
That is totally awesome. Okay, I know everybody wants to see this, so we're gonna open these like we did last time.
And it looks like we have some kind of tinker or dwarf. It's a dwarf who has a hammer. I don't know what that is. Looks like a shake weight.
Shake weight dwarf. That's fantastic.
But he's got these mechanical wings that, like, look at him. It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty dope. This is an armored dragon.
No!
You just killed the dwarf. So, this is gorgeous. I don't care what anybody says.
There's a lot of detail on that.
The
dragon really is wearing armor and jewels.
Yeah, it has a mask.
Even headgear.
The headdress.
Whoa.
Really well done. Really cool.
Oh. Extra stuff for the one shot I bought. Not particular to this.
Oh, and then this is what that dragon is supposed to look like. And that's gorgeous. Pillar of the Giants. Yet again, same quality paper. That's neat.
Yeah, and then
It's got
we got
little, good pictures, good extra signs to it.
got some more skinny minis. God, that dragon looks really good. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's all gold and with rubies and sapphires and emeralds in it.
I mean, it actually wears its bling. That's pretty cool. Instead of just hoarding it, it's like, I'm going to look awesome and pretty. So pretty. And then cool little character cards.
A couple extra cards. A tinkerer shop and an infirmary to...
Ooh, add a ship.
To pimp out the ship, as
yeah.
Adam was saying before.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Your favorite part?
What do we got?
And that's all the box.
Show me what you got. Not sure how it should be, but that looks...
I don't know, but I really like the detail.
Definitely a giant's
And
castle.
look, griffin nest. I don't know if it's actually for a griffin or not. Giant's castle. I would say it's a giant's castle considering there's a giant right there.
Yeah, good old Cyclops. On the other side, you got more in the sky. Looks like it's a giants in the sky kind of thing. It's pretty neat.
Possibly where you fight the dragon.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe the dragon is terrorizing the giant and you gotta try and help him out.
Possibly. I mean, we're going to end up finding out when I read that book.
And we got some 3D terrain. So, this is the point in the video where I'm going to start putting stuff together. He's going to start reading the book. Alright.
Yeah.
See you guys in just a minute.
Deuces.
Alright guys, so we took a look at everything, put some of the 3D terrain together, which they actually give you a pretty big selection of 3D terrain.
Read the story as usual. Got the quick highlights to it to, find out any interesting facts and seeing what you're dealing with in the story. Obviously put the super cool minis together.
Yep, did some close-up shots.
So, first off, we'll get to the adventure here. Unlike the last two, this one is pretty straightforward. I mean, you're going to this fantastical location called the Spur, and you're going to do it for, well, I won't spoil too much. You're going to do it for certain reasons because something asks you to do it. And you're going to go find out all about this. So, adventure's very straightforward. It's go here, do that. Now, reading through it, yeah, it's a little bit of a railroad kind of feel to it. Like, this is the only thing you're going to do, but they really did add a lot of extra flavor and in different random encounters that you can jump into. They're just like, well, that's interesting.
That's good.
And one really cool aspect I've never thought of, and I can't believe I have not, even though this is kind of a classic fairy tale thing, is they created something called the Overbright. And the Overbright is basically the opposite of the Underdark. The Overbright is a area up in the clouds where the clouds start becoming solid.
Right.
Where creatures live on top of the clouds. Which elemental plane of air has kind of this feel, but what they did is in this world, at some point there are all these semi-solid places that things can live and float around, where like towers can be up there.
Oh, that's cool. Floating cities and whatnot.
Possibly, but it's always changing because it is clouds. So nothing is ever really truly permanent up there, but things like dragons, giants, elemental creatures, denizens from other planes live in the Overbright. So it's like
cool.
It's the opposite of the Underdark. And eventually you can go up into the astral plane if you keep going high enough.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was a neat inclusion. Definitely something you can use for other campaigns, because, I mean, Jack and Giant Beanstalk, it's effectively what you're doing. So, pretty cool. Very interesting characters. You'll learn about this guy and some of these other things.
Bolo.
And these little dudes. The really cool idea for those things. So what do you... They're cloud golems.
I was gonna say, yeah, they look like cloud golems.
They're cloud golems. They're really cool.
That's awesome.
And Chris put these together, and these are really neat.
Yeah. But while putting this one on right here, it actually kind of
zooming in there a little bit.
Bent in a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's be careful when you're putting them together, because there's a little bit of material there on that gap, and it can tear pretty easily because this is still cardboard.
Yeah, I mean, it's still really good cardstock, like they've done before, but they're definitely pushing the limits on how strong this can be, the rigidity of this. Getting very close. So as cool as these are, when you're playing with your miniatures across here, don't let your players just slam on them. Be like, hey man, be very careful, or if you make this fall, you will fall off the spur. So if this breaks, you fall. Which, by the way, you can fall off this giant freaking mountain, and some very interesting things happen.
Although these things are still pretty sturdy, so like, this is a pretty heavy miniature, and it supports it just fine.
Of course, as usual, they give us, some pretty cool little charts, which anytime you add little random charts in there, you can use that for lots of different things. That is, I mean, it should be, as long as you're not rattling around, it should be alright.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is fairly straightforward.
They still give you some extra charts and tables that you can roll on, and
they do
see what happens to the players.
They do introduce a couple other story elements, role-playing elements, like the shoresman, not the shoresman, the oarsmen of Shur, not the shoresmen of but the oarsmen of Shur. He's a god, and they introduce him in this book, and what he's about. He's like a god of safe passage, which is, kind of neat. I enjoy that they're adding more of their flavor of the world into the campaign.
Yeah, definitely.
And really, the dungeon of this is extremely straightforward. It's when you get to that spot, you're not going to have any hard time figuring out what needs to happen, where you're going to go, what you're going to do.
No,
it's
nice.
You get there, and
well, I mean, the first two were very open and kind of a do what you want, and had a lot of extra for the characters to do if they wanted to. So it's kind of nice to have something a little straightforward this time.
Well, this one's cool because it's about the trip, not the end place. It's not the end. I mean, you're trying to get to the end point, but the fun part of this is going to be how you get there and when you get there and what happens during that journey. So they've taken a different twist to their last two. The first one was, hey, let's create this open world and let's get you started, get your boat. It's about getting the object, the thing that going. The second one was about getting to a location and exploring that location and figuring out what this is all about. This one's about, well, I have a job to get there, and I know it's at the top. I know that we need to get to the top, but what happens when we're getting to the top? That's where all this adventure comes into play, is what's happening as you're getting up there.
Yeah, the tale of getting there, kind of like the movie City Slickers. You didn't care about the end of the movie. It was all the in between that was just like the best parts of the movie.
Yeah. So that's that in a nutshell. And of course, you got the pretty cool extra little bits. Really good minis as usual. Good value for what you get. You can definitely use these. I can definitely see a red dragon somewhere else in any other campaign setting looking like this. And I don't know why more dragons don't wear
like all the gold armor, the gold vestments. Like she's really blinged out, decked out, and it's just really nice. Especially just looking at this, the flavor that I could come up with how this dragon acts, and
arrogant. 100% arrogant.
100%.
This dragon is not afraid of losing any of its gold because it 100% believes it will kill you before you ever take its gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that says a lot. Which, by the way, guys,
it's just really pretty.
Yeah, let's
look at the detail on that.
When you're playing your campaigns, don't forget about details like this. When something stands out, that should speak volumes to your players. When you say something and go, hey, this dragon is covered and dripping in gold. That should be, well, one, they're going to go, oh man, if we could kill that dragon, we could get all its gold. Well, it should also say, wait, hold a second. That dragon is dripping in gold. Why? Why is it doing that? I don't think we should.
Yeah. Don't dragons normally keep their gold in their layers?
Hidden?
This one's keeping it on it, so it's very different, but at the same time, it's I don't really know if I want to deal with that one.
Yeah. So don't forget cool tidbits like that, even other special characters like that, especially explaining, because they put a lot of time to give some unique personalities to these things. I have to say, even this generic looking chick, she's pretty unique. She's not, there's
nice
stuff you can do with her. So yeah.
So I mean, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Still, I say yes.
Yeah, still worth it. I mean, for the value, the miniatures alone, fantastic miniatures. This map doesn't have as much utility for other things
as the other two boxes did.
Other two do. Now, is it a cool map that you could use for different locations? Sure. Are you going to get enough use out of it? No, probably not. It'll show up maybe once every 15 or 20 sessions. You might be like, I got the perfect map for that. Boom, and you pop it out. Or you might the other side of this is a giant's keep. So you can use that if you're in a giant campaign. That can show up quite a few times.
Yeah, but even this giant, he's pretty cool because he looks like a cyclops.
He is a cyclops.
Oh, he is a cyclops.
Yes.
But he's got all these tattoos and stuff on him and a crazy scepter.
Yeah, he's definitely a different type of cyclops. Very interesting character. And they do add other little tidbits in here. There's a magic weapon that I don't want to spoil that I find pretty cool.
Okay.
That they'll eventually find, or hopefully they'll find. Cloud golems. Come on.
Yeah.
Just a neat idea for a golem. So definitely worth it. I think out of the 3 we've reviewed so far, I still think the first one is worth the most.
Oh, the first one was definitely worth the most.
The second one, third one are about tied, in my opinion. The second one has a whole bunch of really cool abilities of for travel.
The third one is a little better than the second one, in my opinion, but that's also because I love dragons.
Well,
but that miniature alone. But now, if you take the dragon out of the equation and replace it with something else, then I'd probably say the second one, because the map you could use more and just had more utility in that one.
Yeah, but still, this is a good value.
Fantastic.
I mean, you can even use these for city campaigns and other stuff. I think your players would really appreciate stuff like this. So, yet again, aside from them being some flimsy in some areas, which is it's okay, it's not a big deal. It's just they need to be a little more careful about how small they make these, or make the joints. Still, this showing up somewhere else, like in a city campaign or something, would be totally normal. I mean, they're just scaffolds, so that's pretty cool.
You could almost do like a gauntlet.
Good, yeah. I know in a campaign, or in the Waterdeep campaign that I ran, we could have used these. I could have actually had them, during one of the chase scenes, or
that would have been nice. Yeah.
Or underground when you fought the Manchun thing. I don't want to spoil it anyways. I mean,
it's been out for a long time. It's been out for a while. Everybody probably knows.
Yeah, the Manchun simulacrum. I could have used some of these to, say that it was in the little area. Been pretty cool.
Yes, I mean, still for the $30 you're paying, you're still getting your money's worth.
Yep, 100%. This is still worth it. Definitely worth it. And,
all right.
Yeah, that's our review of this, guys. And I mean, if you enjoyed this, please make sure to share, comment, let people know, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe.
This is going to also be the last Dungeon in the Box that we're reviewing for now. So if you guys want us to review more, then tell us in the comments. Otherwise, we're going to move on to different stuff.
Yep. Well, we're going to try to get to some more book products and some other interesting things to talk about. So just let people know. And I'm Adam.
And I'm Chris.
And see ya.
Keep rolling those Nat 2s, guys.
Really? Nat 2s?
Yes, Nat 2s.
Okay.